Warhorse Overland here, going over 4 Colts that I have here complete. This one I just got to put some waterproofing plugs on. Starting from the rear, we have a rear mounted fold down table, a rear mounted spare tire. The rear air K-jacks are standard with all trailers. We have 2 rear slides. We also have a 13-gallon water tank. The fill is on the other side here. It's a reverse fill, so male-to-male adapter. Fill it right up. It's close to the fender simply because there's really nowhere else to mount that spigot nicely. So a little extension hose. I mean, and that 13 gallons is, a lot of people put a pump on them, use them for their hot water heater, etc. We have a rear fold out, a rear swing table, or I'm sorry, a rear swing gate for the roof rack, which is an adjustable roof rack. We have driver's side awning mounts that lock out to a longer position once the tent is set up, because the clamshells take up some of that space, so the awnings need to be able to be pulled out quickly. This is a Dexter 3,500 pound straight axle, an absolute bomb-proof, indestructible axle system. 7-pin connector. This trailer is equipped with brakes. We have an ARK extreme off-road jack mounted to the tongue. We have side-mounted molly panels. Really looks slick with this blue texture powder coat. So this blue texture doesn't have hardly any gloss to it, but it looks really nice. It cleans up nicely. I really like how the 13-gallon water tank sits in there and still gives room for the rear slides. Really is a compact design. Get a lot of use out of that space. This also does have a side cooler slide as well. These are the waterproofing plugs I was telling you about. So that need to be added still. This is something to note. This isn't really to hold the roof on. That's just a plug. It gives you an extra hole in case you want to put wiring down from your rooftop tent, solar panels, into the trailer. There's different options that I can include. Actual bulkhead connectors, solar plug-ins, etc. On my trailer, personally, I just feed the wires through and silicone it. It's just the easiest way for me, but I can do whatever you think. iCamper, pretty large tent, fits on the Colt really nicely. All the wiring on these trailers is consolidated into conduit, so run a really low risk of a rock taking out your entire electrical system. Moving on to this trailer, this is a gloss beige. You could call it more of a desert tan. The powder coater calls it beige. You can see there's dust on there, and this comes right off. So the gloss cleans up dirt and grime a lot easier. It doesn't hold dirt as easily, but scratching it is more difficult to repair. The mats, just about any, the matte finishes, what they call texture in the powder coat world, you can touch up with just about any can of spray paint, satin spray paint. Gloss, on the other hand, is a little more difficult to touch up and repair, so that's something to keep in mind. This has a non-extended tongue. Most of the trailers have extended tongues, but if you have space issues in your garage or wherever you're storing your trailer, this standard tongue length obviously accommodates a spare tire in the front, just no problem. This customer was cognizant of the length of the trailer. So, and if you ever wanted to put a rear spare tire carrier in the future, you have the holes for it. I send you the plate. I have a video on how to do that. It's pretty straightforward. This trailer additionally is equipped with a Dexter 3,500 pound straight axle. Again, bomb-proof, adjustable roof rack up here, side rack plates, always a standard with the trailer, side rack plates. The molly panels are an add-on, which obviously these have. This trailer does not have a slide, but I have videos on how you utilize these holes in those slots and pieces of strut channel to attach your own slide without having to drill holes into the floor. So keep an eye out for that video. Standard coupler on here, 2-inch coupler. Same with this trailer over here. You can easily swap this out for a lock and roll in the future if you ever feel like you need that. Side steps, standard 7-pin connector here. Really, these two colors are great. Then of course you have the black. You can't go wrong with the black. So this trailer definitely has the most features of all the trailers that I have here right now. Rear spare tire carrier mount, standard ARK jacks in the rear, side mounted toolboxes. Fits that fender really well, gives you a lot of good extra space. In the rear of this trailer, we have two slides as well. Customer's going to put a grill on one side, storage on the other. We have a rear fold down table on this trailer, adjustable roof rack as well, and additionally the roof rack enclosure, the rear swing panel, that comes with the front panel as well to fully enclose the space. Adjustable awning mounts. This customer also has a clamshell tent, so it's important to tell me what tent you plan on putting on here, because there's a lot of tiny little nuances. I'll go back to the blue trailer and share with you a nuance that we ran in. This customer originally had a fixed roof rack, but these mounting brackets with the fixed position, as you can see, it was so low that the swing plate impacted the mount. I need to put a wing nut on here. That does not come with a nut. It actually has a wing nut. So it's important to share with me which tent you plan on putting on your trailer. Another box on the side. Working out logos and decals and whatnot. You know, as a small business grows, it's kind of crazy. You know, people think I'm insane for not, you know, putting logos and decals on these trailers, which obviously I need to do. But it's like my main focus is making the trailer good, you know, like, and the name's important obviously, but yeah, sorry, that was just an aside. Yeah, touched on the Dexter straight axle. All these trailers come standard with 6 on 5.5 wheels. So Toyotas, a lot of Fords have those now, Broncos. We have 2 5-gallon jerry can holders here on the front. How those mount: carriage bolts interfacing to the expanded metal on the tongue, and it's absolutely solid. Really excited about this little bad boy right here. This is Gen 1. This customer wanted a water tipper, and I made it so good that I'm now offering them as a add-on here. So essentially you have this is a 7-gallon container, it's not 5. So Amazon, Walmart, etc., you can get these water containers. They secure in here so you can fill it, and then you can easily drop it down to use the spigot. Now that's really important because, especially in colder temperatures, this is the first thing to freeze. Like when I'm up elk hunting, this is the first thing that freezes, and it's always impossible to remember to keep this thing flipped up. But with this, it's a lot easier to remember. So that little guy's awesome. We have front mounted ARKs on here as well for extra stability. We do have a front drawer slide. I have the customer's battery bank in there. I'm making a holding system for it, so it doesn't jostle out of place riding down the road. But yeah, front cooler slide. There's the strut channel that's mounted. The brackets are located with the holes. Standard strut channel, super strut nuts slide in there. Extreme off-road jack as well on this trailer. So I can bolt them on or I can weld them on. I've been bolting them on. This customer wanted it welded on. Just doesn't have any intention on ever taking it off. So totally up to you. Another black trailer here. Front mounted spare tire. Standard 2-inch coupler. This is a 4-pin. I need to change that out to a 7-pin. Customer and I talked, and that's what's needed here. So this trailer does not have brakes. This trailer does have brakes. Adding brakes in the future is not difficult at all because these are equipped with drums, not idlers. So if you needed to slap brakes in there, you just throw them in the future. This trailer also has a front drawer slide. Now, one thing to mention with the seal and the locks, so some trailer companies use a compression type lock that opens, latches, and closes. Does a great job of sealing the door. However, they're difficult to replace because there's so many of them. They're not very standardized, and I've done a lot of research. They don't last long. They break relatively easily. These are pretty bomb-proof latches. They're not considered compression latches. So in order to get a good seal on the door, you have to give it a little bit of a bump and then a twist on the T-handle to get it to lock it in place to get a good seal on that door. A pain, sure, but you know, it's not as painful of having to replace your lock in the future. And you know, just say you can't have it all, I guess. Rear ARK mounts as always. Rear ARK jacks. This is the Timbren 3500 suspension, Timbren 3500 HD. So they have 5,400 pound spindles, 3,500 pound rated suspension. But in order for Timbren to get those tires out at that aggressive stance, they beef up the spindles, which is a great idea. Again, this if you're looking for a trailer that is very touch-upable, your flat black, you just absolutely can't go wrong. You could run a tree branch down the side of this thing and scratch all the powder coat off, which would be extremely difficult to do. But if you did so, touching it up with flat black spray paint, it's almost indistinguishable. So that's why on all the accessories, I always default flat black. That's pretty non-negotiable. Just for that reason, it's touch-upable. Because, you know, your fenders are the first thing that's going to get damaged, obviously, if you go nuts. But everything on these trailers is replaceable. The fenders are load-bearing, but they're also bolt-on. So you destroy one, I can send you another one. Another reason why keeping them flat black is nice. But a lot of work went into these builds. Hope to have a lot of happy customers here. It's truly a pleasure building these. I use these things, the weekends I'm not building, I'm out using my trailer. So a lot of thought went into, more the durability aspect of these trailers. Not so much, the amenities are there, but there's a lot of trailers out there that are, they're a lot of fluff, and the cost reflects that. So what I'm trying to do is basically give you everything you need and nothing you don't need. And most important, the cornerstone of my business will always be durability and rigidity. All of these trailers are 11 gauge on the sides, so that's an extremely robust material. To give you an example, most car bodies on your vehicles is 22 gauge, so quite thin. These are extremely structurally sound. You can crawl all over these things. I had a customer pick a trailer up, and the first thing he did was monkey around on the thing just to see what I would do. And I do that all the time. But if you have any questions, give me a holler. Today was day of the Colts. I've got Colt lights, I got studs, I got more Colts coming as well. So stay tuned for more videos. If you'd like to see anything in particular, I plan on getting a lot of road shots. I went ahead and bought a video drone, so they're going to be some pretty, you'll see the trailer moving. Let's just put it that way. But in terms of like the fancy music and the cool transitions, I'm just not there yet. But you'll see it rolling down the road. I'll take it. I'll send it over some nasty stuff so you can see what it does. My lighting's all screwed up here. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. Again, any questions? Sales@warhorseoverland.com. Thanks for watching.